Hello everybody, I'm Junia, and this is Uncommon Sense. Thank you for joining us. My guest today, Ann McLaughlin, is a chef and an entrepreneur. She recently quit her job and opened Annabelle's Own restaurant and attended Bullock Creek School and took classes at Delta College and at Central Michigan University. So welcome, Ann.
Well, thank you.
I want to hear about Annabelle's Own. Tell me, what is it?
Annabelle's Own has been a long dream that we've worked hard at, but has finally kind of began to blossom. And we have opened up this little space. It's not a big space, but it's kind of big at heart. We used to cater. We've catered for years and years.
Yes. Very tastily.
Happily maybe made you a dish or two.
Yeah.
But now on top of our catering, which really grew and made us wonderfully busy before the holidays or during the holidays, we now have a small eatery in the front, which is a whole new side of cooking for me, and it's fun every day. It's awesome. We're also going to open up a malt shop right at the end of March.
Now, what exactly is a malt shop?
Well, the idea that I have for this place,
Yes.
the two rooms, it's all in the same building, but they're
Okay.
very unconnected. There is a way you get back through, but the personalities are completely different. Annabelle's Own unique eatery. You walk in, you see we decorated with a lot of inspirational sayings and stuff. Go seek your dreams, take today. Because that's what we did in order to open this up.
Yes.
A little bit of Billie Holiday playing, nice
that's
and soft.
nice.
Yeah, I love when you walk in. When I walk out at night and nobody else is there and all the girls have it set for the next day, I feel really happy because it's a place that I would like to sit down in. Then you go over, the malt shop's gonna be a rockin', and it's all in red and white, and it has a little lunch counter. And I kind of like Elvis Presley.
Oh,
so
cute.
It has pictures of Elvis Presley up, Lucille Ball. We're going to be playing Happy Days music. And it's going to be an old style malt shop. Brooklyn egg creams, chocolate malteds. I grew up with chocolate malteds. Every Friday night, my mom made our malteds.
I did too.
And then the boys, the grandkids, grew up with them.
Now, will there be anything to eat at the malt shop? What will there be to eat?
Absolutely. We're going to, somebody could come in and grab a quick bite. We're going to have the hot dogs rolling and the pretzel machine going, sloppy joes. It really should be like you're walking into Happy Days, big ales. You know, it's going to be easy food, ready to go, but still kind of with that homemade flair, a little bit of fun, and we might even have a taking care of business Elvis Sunday challenge. Sorry, I did that in my best Elvis voice.
I'm really fascinated. I know you as a chef, but I did not know you as a decorator, concept person. Is that from you? Was it that way before?
It's just, we were lucky with the place that we ended up with. It was painted with nice colors. It's just kind of goes with the theme or the idea or the brand that I always thought Annabelle's Own could be. It's very family oriented. Our little mantra of it is food, family, friends, and fun. There's sayings up there that mean a lot to me with my mother, who we started Annabelle's Own years ago with my mom, my partner, and myself. So even the logo, our logo for Annabelle's Own are 3 apples.
Yeah.
And it stands for myself, Melissa, and my mom. My mom was a huge part, and her spirit is everywhere in that place.
When you started it years ago, what did you start then?
We actually, I got it in my head that I wanted to make all sorts of jams and jellies and sauces and barbecue sauces and vinegars and pickles. And for about 6 years, the 3 of us grew our produce, picked our berries. My mother spent hours and hours doing this stuff with us, going to craft shows. I never did.
Was that her interest, or was she supporting you?
She always supported me, and I think she loved it.
Yeah.
I think she loved it. Otherwise she wouldn't have did it. But I think she loved it. But That's why when you look at our little logo, she's the little green apple in the background. She was always there, always supporting.
What was your mother like? I mean, you can feel, I can see and feel how much you revered and loved her.
Oh yeah, it won't make me tear up. I'm really lucky with this whole new venture.
Yes.
Every day I get to tell stories about my mom. So I don't have to be as sad. We lost her about 2 years ago.
Oh, that's
She was
hard.
the glue of our family, which fortunately, when she left us, our family didn't fall apart. We just grew closer together. My mom was awesome. She was, I didn't learn how to cook from her because she would always tell me, Annie, you put too many spices and herb things in your stuff. But I learned from her that food is about family and about celebration. Sunday dinners, she always made too much because one of the boys, my sister's boys, they liked this, I liked this, Sherry only liked that. I learned from her that feeding people was more than feeding them for nourishment. It really is about feeding their soul. And it was a gift to be given to me.
Yes.
And I take it and I run with it every day.
You know, what I'm sort of hearing, maybe a few words in your mouth, is that yes, you wanted to cook, but also as part of a mission, a sort of values-driven, how you view the world and what you'd like to give the world.
Absolutely. Sometimes I don't think people always get that. That's absolutely right. That's why I probably wasn't happy working for a great big huge company and corporation that provided me with a good secure job and great insurance. I could only, it sounds cheesy, I could only touch so many people within that atmosphere. And Annabelle's Own is a little 24-seater. I'm not hitting the world, but I feel like my place is a good place for people to come, and I hope they leave being fed well and they feel well, they were greeted nicely, and that they want to come back as a friend or a family of Annabelle's Own. And I don't...
Spiritual, like a healer, a safe place.
It's part of feeding
Makes
people's
things better.
souls.
Yes.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a gift.
It is a gift.
I am happy that so many people helped me do this. And I'm lucky.
How did they help you?
Well, Melissa, you've met
Yes.
Melissa.
Right.
She is still working at Corning. And she, that's a big thing to give up a job.
Yes.
When a home is dependent upon a couple incomes, she agreed. She's feeding the chihuahuas because
Yeah.
I knew, in the first couple of years of business, you don't really take out a whole lot of salary. Everything goes back in to make it bigger and better and provide the security. We now have 10 employees. It's my job to make them successful at their job. And I feel very responsible for that now, that this has to continue to grow so their success can grow too. So she provided that right from the beginning. We have some t-shirts called Annabelle's Army.
I love that.
It stemmed from my family and friends.
Right.
The first weekend we could get in there, I had probably 20, 30 family and friends scrubbing from the ceiling down to the floor in every corner for some Little Caesars pizza and a whole lot of my thank yous. Before the holidays, or during the holidays, we ended up having, I was a little overwhelmed with some of the orders that I was lucky to take on. And I literally had aunts and friends. People would stop on their way to work, after work. I had some people stay until 2:30 in the morning.
You mean to
with
help
me.
you cook and assemble?
Help, yeah. So I have an Annabelle's Army. I have these people that put everything. I have these people that invested in this dream with me by their support and hard work.
This is so interesting to me. They want to see you successful and you want to see your employees successful. It's an attitude towards life. Really, it's a very good
I hope it works.
Yes. Did you allocate so much money for a few years, or so that you wouldn't run out. How do you think about when opening it? How financially?
That would be really good business sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really good at cooking. Business sense isn't always my. We kind of. All I can say with that is, we were so fortunate in a couple things. I had a couple great jobs. I was able to put a little bit away, and things fell into place. And we were able to open it without a lot of debt.
It's
fabulous. Amazing. And I worry every day. You know, I need the business to come in. I believe in my heart that it will, and it'll really turn over, and the security will come. Right now, it's our job to plug away and hopefully make the best food and the best service, the best atmosphere, and the best food. It's our three-legged stool.
How do you allocate your time? I mean, there's shopping, management, creativity, cooking, rest.
Well, yeah, the latter of that kind of went by the wayside. Right now, it's busy.
Right.
And I do struggle with that because there's always about 15 other things that I could do. But now that I have a phenomenal team,
yes,
it's I can tell you, it's amazing sometimes when I'll be like, oh, I got to get this done and this done and this done. And they talk and speak, because sometimes I don't even finish my sentences. And I don't even realize it. And sometimes I turn around and these things that I stated that I had to get done are done. It's the first week, it took me it literally made me catch my breath a couple times, because these people are doing it and they're believing it. It's really
How
cool.
did you interview for them or find them? 10 people is a lot of people.
Yeah, it is. Well, being that we didn't really know what we were doing in business, we kind of winged that. We put a ad in the paper, and we got one really great cook out of it. So we always said it was worth our dollar. But Facebook has been a phenomenal asset to Annabelle's Own. And a lot of people came through Facebook because we finally put it up. We need some experienced servers. We need some experienced cooks. And that is how the majority of our team came to us.
That's modern.
It's a tool that has been brilliant for us. It's a wonderful tool. We put up our specials, we talk about this and that, and we have actually, in a very short time, we started kind of at the market this summer, getting the Annabelle word out and stuff, and it all started turning. We have over 500 likes, and we just have a really cool following that encourages us, gives us ideas, all through Facebook. It's awesome.
It is awesome.
It is.
I really am drawn to the fact that it's more than a restaurant for you.
It is. It
much
is.
more.
I hope when people walk in, they get it. I really do. That's the whole idea, is that it really is supposed to be a place of celebration. It stems back to what I had said about my mom.
Yes.
We believe that whether it's our catering, whether it's a meeting or bridal shower, or whether you're there with 3 other of your friends, you might as well treat that moment, that meal, as a mini celebration.
Oh, well, I have a couple of favorite words. One is new, and the other is celebrate.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think what we're doing right now is, for me anyway, is
Yeah,
celebrating,
absolutely. We should have a nice plate.
Yes, we should have fun with it.
I should have brought a good plate. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What drew you to cooking to begin with? Was nobody cooking other than your mother? Were you giving her a hand, a grandmother?
No, I never did cook much with my mom until we got into the jams and jellies. I will honestly say the first place that I began to love cooking is when I was 20 years old and I went to New York as a nanny, and I lived with the Maglionis, and a mom and 2 boys, and then her father was first generation Italian American, and they lived down in Queens. We lived up in Westchester, but I would honestly spend time on the phone with him, and he would tell me how to make different dishes. And it started there, and just the fun being out in New York and like experiencing all the different flavors and all that stuff. I grew up Midwest, pan-fried steak, can of green beans, and some potatoes, and I love it to this day. But there's so much good stuff out there. It's good stuff. Food is fun.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Do you feel the Food Network and magazines and recipes online has changed our area in terms of
Absolutely.
what do they like now, would you say? What range?
As far as people and what they're willing to, people are willing to go more out there in cuisine. Comfort food is still a big thing, but people are kind of willing to expand their view of comfort food. You know, one thing that is fun on our menu that I thought I would have to twist somebody's arm to try is I put it under grinder section because everybody's kind of familiar with the grinder, right?
Yeah.
But it's a Vietnamese banh mi. And it's simple ingredients. I don't go too crazy with the ingredients. It's just the flavor. I do the like the sauce. Yeah, yeah.
We hit it with something.
We hit it with nice chicken, and then we have this awesome like sesame ginger sauce. We fire it, and then we make this fresh, almost salad with coleslaw and radish and cucumber, and we hit that again with sesame and a ginger honey vinegar, and you know, so it's
light and tangy.
Yeah, exactly. But people are buying it.
Food. Yeah.
They're buying it. It's one of our more popular sandwiches, and I think that's cool.
Do you have a regular menu, or do you change it, or things are in flow? Are there hot plates, or there eggs? What is the range of what you?
We do lunch and dinner right now, and hot plates actually is a little section on our menu. So we do, you know, some traditional. We do traditional turkey with gravy and mashed potatoes. We just happen to roast our own turkeys and pull it. It's not processed stuff. We do a hot beef plate, but we do it with this slow cooked pot roast, and we mount it up, and then we hit it with Swiss, and then we have a mushroom gravy. So it's our mushroom Swiss hot beef plate. So comfort foods, and then we have some specialty pizzas and.
Tell us about the dessert you mentioned this morning that you sort of whipped together with just what was at hand. I like that. You can have such originality. You can just take what's at hand.
That's what's fun. That's what's fun. We haven't locked ourselves into a big dessert menu. There's one thing that we have on the dessert menu, and that's our cookies and milk. That's because we do different cookies every day. And what's more than comfort food? You get a little plate with 3 cookies and a little glass of milk. It's, you know, that's nice. But so that's one of our locked desserts. But the rest of them, other than our cappuccino brownie, is kind of what we come up with. And I had to get a dessert out for an order, and I had 2 of my nice brownie blanks, and they're ready to go. And we have some really good raspberry filling, so we put them together and filled them up, and then we made a nice chocolate ganache and just kind of let it flow over each one. So it's good food. You just kind of have to peek around. And
do you change? You said specials. Do you change a portion of the menu every day, or is it more free form?
We have a pretty large menu daily.
Okay.
But I think it's really, really important for us to have a special and a soup of the day. We have a really nice. I have to mention this to you. We do a savory basil tomato vegetable soup.
Yeah.
But if I hope this isn't too personal, it's just like the soup that I used to make for Mr. Doan, and he ate every day, but his had beef in it. And I loved the fact that Mr. Doan loved that soup. I always think about that with him.
Meant a lot. Appreciate
yeah,
that.
I wanted to mention that, and he always loved spaghetti.
Yeah,
I think
that's true.
He did.
That's true.
I think about him.
Had
I'm
it when I
he was such
wasn't
a nice
there.
man.
I wasn't a
exactly.
fan.
I know. But anyways, so we always have that soup, and then we come up with different ones. Today was lasagna soup.
How do you price things?
There's a formula.
Oh.
And I'm horrible at doing the formula. But you know, you kind of plug in your costs of your food into a certain percent, and in theory, everything is supposed to taking care of my light bill and my water bill and my employees.
Yeah, who knows?
So yeah.
Right.
So
Do you have a long-term lease, or do you own the building?
no, we have a lease. Sometimes I wonder if it's not long enough. So, but you know, we had to start. It was
starting.
It was the way we were able to start. So
When you were looking for a place to start, what part of the area did you look at? Where did you want to be?
I would have loved to have been downtown.
Yeah.
I think downtown Midland is kind of in a pre-Renaissance stage. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford the realty down there.
Yes.
And there just wasn't anything. We looked all over. We had a gentleman that helped us and looked at a lot of different areas. And this is one of the reasons I said it kind of fell into place. I kind of up and quit my job before I actually had a brick and mortar place.
How come?
My joke is I had to go crazy to make this all happen. I really struggled with giving up this
Something
giving
you
up
knew
the
and did.
security and like putting myself out there. I struggled. And finally that struggle kind of busted up and broke, and I went up and I'm like, well, okay, I quit. And they're good people up there. They're like, that's a little hasty. Hold on, we'll put you on a leave. I'm like, okay. And that week, I found the place, and it just worked. It wasn't listed. It wasn't anything. I knocked on a door, and it progressed. And a week and a half later, I'm like, yeah, no, really, I wasn't kidding. I quit. So, some things happen.
You know, sometimes you have to go through a lot of pain to get to the decision to step through the door. You know.
Good things don't always come easy,
Right. There's a lot
but they're good things.
Yeah.
So,
And if they aren't here, they're there.
right,
You know?
exactly, exactly.
And you just get bigger. Do you have family who's involved in this effort?
Yeah, I mean, other than, definitely all my family is involved, for sure. My dad's there daily, and he painted, and my sister is one of my best clients from the hospital. And I also have one of my nephews that works for me right now. He, 3 weeks ago, he proposed to his girlfriend at our place as a surprise. It was beautiful.
That is beautiful.
That's good stuff. That's what I'm talking about. It's good stuff that happens there.
It is good stuff.
Yeah, we book surprise parties. We had one last weekend for a couple, so their family treated it as a place of celebration. There's good vibes in the place.
Right now it's Monday through Friday. Is that your intent?
No, that is so we could get to know our staff and our staff could get to know us. We're going to expand the hours, especially once the malt shop gets up and going. We also plan on having a patio menu where we're able to do steaks off the grill and such in the summer. So,
Isn't that nice?
yeah, I like
You're
a
going to
steak
be a
off the grill.
destination center.
I hope so. I feel like we have to work against our location. We're not dead
How far
center.
out is it from downtown Midland?
On my website, it says it is conveniently located 5.2 miles from beautiful downtown Midland. So we're not that far out. It's just, I think people forget M20.
You can't go on a lunch hour. It's too far to
Right,
go.
exactly. But you know, it's if you're from downtown, it's
go
the same
afterwards.
distance to go out by the mall, if
Yeah.
not further there. It's a quick and easy ride out there.
Very interesting. And
Thanks.
who knows, you might work up a terrific trade, and by that time, things might happen downtown. They may come to you.
You never know.
You absolutely never know.
Yeah, we believe things happen how they happen. So
I'm so impressed with what we're talking about. And do you do anything for special diets, like people who can't eat gluten or dairy or some of the other things?
definitely, we always try. That's one thing that's important to me, is always trying to deal with any dietary restrictions or choice, vegan, vegetarian. gluten-free. I'm actually trying out some different gluten-free pizza crust.
You're amazing.
Baking is tough
Yes,
for
it is.
gluten-free, but we can usually figure out a lot of dietary needs.
So that's on the catering side, but on the eatery side,
The eatery side right now, I don't have a lot on the menu, and I've had people ask, and the one thing I will tell anybody that comes in is please talk to me. Call ahead, let me know. I can usually whip something up for you, and I would be happy to do that.
and you're there every day?
Yeah. Yeah. I think March something, I'm gonna ask the cooks if they'll come in on Sunday and maybe, oops, sorry cooks, and we might take a night away, so. But right now,
Good.
it's good.
Thank you, Ann.
You're welcome.
Well, haven't we had a good time today? And haven't we learned really something very special? And that, for me, very special. Maybe it's my philosophy as well. And that is, if you do things that are in harmony with what gives meaning to your life, you have joy and energy and a sense of fulfillment and happiness. Ann was raised in a family that her mom emphasizes food, fun, family, and friends. And Sunday dinners, they gave special foods to different members of the family. And when she opened this, I just loved it, that people appeared to help her clean up. And she hired these people, and she sort of indicates she needs something done, and they do it for her. And she's made modern use of Facebook and hiring, which I think is also a wonderful thing. So we thank her. Look at your life and be that. Find what gives you meaning and do it. Be inharmonious. And remember, go out and do something kind for someone you know and someone you don't know, and please do it every day of the week and beyond. It means so much. You do not know what's in people's hearts and how they could use even a smile to make their life better. And see you next week. Thank you.
To contact Junia, send her an email at info@juniadoan.com. For more information, program schedules, and news about future guests, go to www.juniadoan.com. Thanks for joining us. See you next time for Uncommon Sense with Junia Doan.